Hello, welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. This is the series on starting a homestead on a budget. This will be part 3 in a series of videos, and like I promised in my video number 2, in this video we're going to talk about and reveal how I purchased the house. So basically with the same principles as I applied in the first video of purchasing the land, I had purchased this house. Now, I need to explain. This house is a 27-foot wide by 48-foot long double wide manufactured home. It was built in 1982, and it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with vaulted ceilings. Beautiful home. We purchased it from an acquaintance. That's one of the options you could probably explore as far as purchasing homes for your homestead that you're trying to put together. So stick-built or manufactured home, we had to do what was within our means, within our budget. And so we didn't have much money. I didn't have any money in my bank account, so before I had purchased Pine Meadows Hobby Farm, I had an opportunity to buy a double-wide manufactured home. So the story goes like this. I work at the hospital. A nurse coworker of mine approached me and says she's bought some property and she would like to sell the double-wide manufactured home on the property, and her and her husband want to build their dream home. So she offered the house to me, and I asked her, well, how much are you asking for this house? And she goes, $10,000. Is that a bargain or what? To me, it is a huge bargain. So what I did was I went and looked at the house, and this is what I saw. I really liked it, and so I took and went again down to the loan office and got a title loan on my car to pay the down payment. She only wanted so much on a down payment. She was willing to take some payments until the house was paid off. So I did the same thing. I went and got a title loan, which was just enough on the down, and we were able to pay her $3,000 down, and I paid that title loan off really fast. And of course, with tax refunds and bonuses and my paycheck that I get, I would double up and triple up on payments and try to get it paid off as quickly as possible. And we had the house paid for within about 3 years. And so we have the title on the house. But what I did with the house is we moved it from the property where she had purchased, which is 3 miles down the road from Acorn Acres, where I was living at the time. So I arranged with the people who owned Acorn Acres to be able to store the double-wide manufactured home in their field for a while until I found property to put it up on, and they agreed. So I came up with some additional money to be able to have the home moved up and stored on the lot, or up on the farm where we were living. And then we purchased Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. We got this in video 1. And now, fast forward, we moved the house over here. Once I got the property cleaned up, the septic tank stored, we immediately moved our 5th wheel over here, and we're living in the 5th wheel here, set up, hooked up to the water and the septic, and the functional septic, and we also were able to wire in a functional RV outlet on the service box so we could plug the 5th wheel into. So we were able to gather enough money together over a period of time to pay the movers to move the house over here to pine meadows. What I did was I had them park the house as close together as possible. And since I'm living on a very tight budget, payday to payday basically is what we're doing here, I have to do every bit of work myself. So what I did is I went ahead and I purchased two 30-foot chains from Harbor Freight. I purchased two come-alongs from Harbor Freight, and I purchased two 20-ton jacks from Harbor Freight. These jacks were heavy enough to be able to lift the house and get it to where I needed. So what I did was I set the jacks up at an angle underneath the I-beams of the trailer that I was moving that way, wrapped the chain around the girders, and they come along over here, and then I pulled it, and while the jacks were tilted on these tilted bases supported by boards, all the force would go this way, so naturally the house would move this way until I got it into position where it needed to be. Now on the tongues, I was able to wrap a chain here and to here, and to come along pull it here. Now what it looked like on a front angle is here is the landing gear of the tongue. This is the crank where I cranked the tongue down, and I have a heavy piece of channel iron I put and blocked at an angle. So the landing gear was jacked up, and this would naturally slide down via gravity. Now my chain was wrapped around the tongue and wrapped around the other tongue on the other side with a come-along in the middle. And that come-along pulled, while it pulled over here, the force down was helping on moving the trailer over, so I was also able to move the front part of the trailer over and match it up perfectly. And then I was able to pull it together and align the houses up perfectly, as you see in this picture, and that was it. Then I went ahead and did all the leveling myself, put all the pier blocks under the house. Of course, with a single wide mobile that was sat here, I would manage to salvage a bunch of pier blocks. Plus, when I took the house apart over at the other property, I salvaged all the pier blocks there, so I had more than enough pier blocks to be able to set the trailer on. And what I did from our state website, I was able to download the booklet on setting up a manufactured home that was code specific for our state. So I was able to put the bolts along the floor line in according to the specifications of the code, as well as put the bolts in along the roof line according to the specifications of the code. Now, on the roof, my son helped me. This is the only job my son helped me with. He came over and we put ridge line on the roof. I purchased new tiles for this, and we got tiles to match the existing roof. So now the house is weather tight. After that, I spent some time accumulating several bags of cement, as you see in this picture, and several cement blocks. I'm building a cement block skirting or cement block foundation. Now, if you want to get away cheaper, a simple plywood skirting that's painted would suffice for your home for the interim. It just needs enough to pass code. I wanted my home set where it's going to be on, it's going to look nice, and I decided to do this on the cement block foundation, or it's called the cement block skirting, but it looks like a foundation. The difference between the skirting on this manufactured home here in our state and a cement block foundation and a skirting is the skirting footing is only a foot wide, whereas a foundation footing is 18 inches wide. I made my foundation footing a foot wide, so therefore it's classified as a skirting, not a foundation, but it has enough pier blocks. There's 109 pier blocks supporting the total underneath of the trailer, and I forgot how many cement blocks are in the foundation. So I went ahead and built the forms for the foundation, poured the cement myself, built the foundation. I went on YouTube and learned how to use cement, work with cement blocks and mortar. And my wife helped me a little bit with screeding on the cement foundation, so she's got a little sweat equity into this too. So we went and continued on completing the foundation. I hooked the house up to the electric. Coincidentally, the electric service that serviced the old single wide that was here matched exact location to where my service entry was on this manufactured home. So I didn't have to buy any extra wiring, only the couplers to couple it and glue it in place to the conduit where it goes up into the service box. I hooked up the water and put in a union and water valve. I also hooked up the sewer after restoring the sewer tank that I showed you in a video too. So did all the hookups myself, did everything myself. When I purchased the home came complete with 2 awnings, one for the deck, came complete with the deck also, and it came complete with a carport and a heat pump. So I installed the deck, reinstalled the deck, installed the awnings, painted them, installed the carport, and now the house is complete. And so that's how I bought the house. It's on a really tight budget, doing all the work myself, and of course going payday to payday and with extra bonuses and tax refunds. I was able to buy all the cement blocks and cement and all the materials I needed to put the house together. So that's it on this video, and hopefully that clues you in on how you can acquire a home for your homestead. And just remember, think outside the box. There are creative ways of getting what you need. It may not be your dream home, but it's a start. And then you can make it what you want. And now in the next video, I'm going to show you how I built the barn for my homestead, and also how I built the chicken coop for my homestead. And I built them on a budget because I used most all of it is recycled, repurposed material that I got free. So we'll talk about that on the next video. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen, here at Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I want to thank you for coming. Please subscribe. You'll keep in tune with the other videos as I produce them and upload them. And also, we are now on Facebook and Twitter and Pinterest. Look for us there. Thank you for coming.